Hey guys, Christopher McSweeney here.
And Tim Shabanowitz, and we're giving you some stuff on ergonomics.
Lesson 17, George Lois saying, you can be cautious or you can be creative, but there's no such thing as a cautious creative. Woo!
Deep. So deep.
Take 28 and a half seconds to reflect on that, and we'll be back.
Promise.
So, Shabanowitz.
Yes.
Ergonomics.
Yeah.
Work, law is what ergonomics means, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We got aesthetics, we got proportion. We're increasing stuff, but we're decreasing. What are we doing here?
So up until now, we've been looking at like how we can make the place look good and how everything's intentional. But if it doesn't feel comfortable, then it's all for naught. It's just a pretty picture.
So we're funneling into the form and function, but the form is got to be cozy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The form follows function, as Corbusier says. I think we've talked about that before. So therefore, the form's got to be good, but you also have to be able to do what you're supposed to be doing in that workspace or play space or whatever it is. So that's all we're talking about here. On this page, for ergonomics, we want to increase comfort, productivity, efficiency, health, and ease. That makes people do more, faster, better, stronger, all that kind of stuff.
So are you saying we want to make a comfortable space?
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's like we've been talking about it all this time. We want to make sure you do that, but this is really driving it home. We want to decrease discomfort, fatigue, irritation, disruption. Otherwise, they can't do the work or stuff in their space.
Now, what we are not talking about is so comfortable that people become ineffective, right?
Correct.
So we're looking at this through the lens of we're increasing not just comfort, but we are also increasing productivity in the class, right?
So,
or in our case, a classroom, right?
Exactly.
And that goes for productivity of the instructor primarily is what we really want to focus on. Student productivity will thus increase our efficiency, health, and ease. So all of those. It's not just get comfy.
Yeah, it's not like get a big plush couch and watch a movie or something like that. Unless you're designing a movie theater, in which case that would be a good thing.
Not a bad idea.
But if we're talking about a classroom, one of the easiest things we can think about is desk and chair or table and chair. If you're going to sit at a table and do work, like write down stuff or whatever, the chair needs to be at an appropriate height. If I can raise this. Yep. It doesn't want to raise, but see, that's the problem with this chair. The problem with this chair is that it does not raise or lower, so I can't get properly comfortable to do work.
Yeah, which we need flexibility because currently I have some sixth graders who are, 4.5 feet tall.
Yes.
And then I have some eighth graders who also come to my classroom, typically in DIY design or your class, and they're like 6.5 feet tall.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big span.
And just with the whole sitting thing, if they're going to type and do work like this, there's a certain height that is comfortable for most people. And so this goes into these diagrams we have here. On the left-hand side, you'll see Da Vinci did a diagram called the Vitruvian Man, and that kind of just shows proportion and the human body in proportion and how far wingspan is or how tall somebody is. Truth be told, your wingspan should be, for a fully grown human being, your exact height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that because of swimming.
Yes.
Because some swimmers have a longer wingspan than they are tall, and like Phelps is like that.
I was going to say Phelps is interesting.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, renowned architect Le Corbusier, French architect, he developed in the early 1900s a system called the modular, and what we have here is a picture of the modular man, just kind of illustrating that you can subdivide the body into certain proportions and then use those proportions to design things around you so that it fits the body. So kind of think about that. And then over on the right-hand side, we have the golden ratio, which is more of a natural type thing. You see the golden ratio in nature.
We see it in photography.
A lot too. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and so all of this is not just because we want people to feel good. It's because we're trying to decrease discomfort,
right?
Fatigue,
yep.
Irritation, disruption. Like when you go into a work environment and the lights are so harsh that after like 30 minutes you're having to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Your productivity's going down, right?
Exactly.
You're not as creative, right?
Right.
Because you're tired or you're irritated. All of those things get affected.
Yeah. And if people will listen to their body and say, I just don't want to do anymore in here. Further to that window thing, if there's too much glare in a space, it could just be like there's too much sunlight coming in, maybe too much, and that's causing glare, which is fatiguing the eyes, which is causing you to just not do the work. So there's a lot of different variables at play here, and you just have to balance them and look at every single type of variable in order to make it comfortable for the person.
And this is huge right now because in 2020 to 2022, there was a global pandemic which shifted. I know. Did you hear about it?
Maybe.
In passing. And so then we had the really big work from home revolution where people started studying ergonomics and the standing desk got really big, right? Motorized desks, all that stuff. What does your at-home workspace look like? And then companies outside of the usual suspects like Google, who have very creative office spaces, every company started looking at their work environment and saying, okay, the old school manufacturing industrial revolution, put people in cubicles, they get a plant, and
that's it.
And one family picture.
That's it.
and now they're going, hold on. You mean to tell me that if we just make the place more comfortable, people are going to work harder?
Yeah. That's it.
Cool. Now, how does that all fit into DIY design and what you're doing? Also, we're building ergonomics into our user groups as well. So be thinking about all the user groups. How does your space, how are you going to increase all those things that we want to increase and decrease all the things that we want to decrease? Okay. Yes. We got
DOD. We got a DOD. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but Unité d'Habitation. D'Habitation. By Corbusier. So it kind of puts the modular we just talked about into practice. Take a look at this building. It was built after World War II when they wanted to maximize a lot of living space, but it uses the modular in such a direct way that you can't miss it. And so study it, take a look and see what he did, and I think you'll be better for it.
So. Nice. As you can tell, these videos are starting to become a little less directed because now you are getting ready to actually act. So we want to do less of telling you how to think, what to do, because now it depends on what space you're modifying.
Yeah, it sure totally does.
Cool. All right, well, we hope this video helps, and good luck.
We'll see you on the next one.